Good evening. Glad to have you here with us. This is the 7th annual Triangle Center for Spiritual Living Talent Show. Yay! And it is starring amazing talent, but I'm sorry to say that he couldn't be here tonight. So we have a great group of people to fill in for us. And we're glad you're here. Hope you have fun. And hope you'll come back tomorrow. And right now, I'd like to introduce to you our host for the evening, Mr. Drumroll, please, Vinny Jenna.
This is the moment you've waited for. You've been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. Buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what comes after. You're full of a dream, can't you see it getting closer? Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. It's a preacher in the pulpit and your blind devotion. There's something breaking at the brick of every wall, it's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go where it's covered in all the colored lights? Where the runaways are running the night. Impossible comes true, it's taking over you.
This is the greatest show,
We light it up, we won't come down.
and the sun can't stop us now.
Watching it come true, it's taking over you.
This is the greatest show.
It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. And it's here right in front of you.
This is where you
This is where you wanna be. It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. And it's here right in front of you.
This is where you
This is where you wanna be. It's everything you ever want. It's everything you ever need. And it's here.
Good evening. Oh, wow. Always something mechanical. We got to keep you on your toes. We've got to know that you're still breathing here, all 10 of you. And 20. Doesn't matter. So you do know what this means. You have to fill the place of every seat that's empty in applause tonight and laughter. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a great show. I mean, we have everything here from special acts from afar that have come out of their way to make it here from Las Vegas. We've got, I'm telling you, we got some really great things. You're going to be surprised. So am I. Are you? That's good. And we've got comedians. We've got poems, incredible poem and author. And so I want everybody to sit back, relax, have a great time. We are going to go through one whole act here, one show. So there is no pee break. So if you have to go to the bathroom now, but not now because I'm going to be singing. You can go through one of the other acts. Hold on.
Excuse me.
Okay, there we go already. Okay, no problem. Gosh. Did my wife go or is she still here? Because the last show, she was in the bathroom when I was dedicating a song to her. Are you here, hon? Right? Oh, she's here. Okay, you went already. Good. All right. So, one of the things that I wanted to mention is, did you ever get that feeling, that rumbling within you, deep within you, that you know that something in your life is about ready to change? Right? Oh, no. Yes, that could be part of the rumbling. Yes, I know. But I'm talking about something deeper. I'm talking about way down. It could be a dream. It could be something that you just know is meant to happen. It's just right here, right? I mean, I have been going through that, and it's absolutely driving me crazy because I just know, we feel, both my wife and I, we feel that something is about to happen. All right. There we go. Okay. Mark, make the music louder. Who knows? There's something due any day. I will know right away soon as it shows. It may come cannonballing down through the sky, gleaming its eye bright as a rose. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach, under a tree. I got a feeling there's a miracle due, gonna come true, coming to me. Could it be? Yes, it could. Something's coming, something good. If I can wait, something's coming. I don't know what it is, but it is gonna be great. With a click, with a shock, phone'll jingle, door'll knock. Open the latch. Something's coming, don't know when, but it's soon. Catch the moon, one-handed catch. Around the corner, or whistling down the river. Come on, deliver to me. Will it be? Yes, it will. Maybe just by holding still, it'll be there. Come on, something, come on in. Don't be shy, meet a guy, pull up a chair. The air is humming, and something great is coming. Who knows? It's only just out of reach, down the block on a beach. Maybe tonight, maybe tonight, maybe tonight. Yeah, maybe tonight. Whoa! Thank you. The second time is always better anyway. So now our first act this is their first time in appearance, and I'm so excited that they're here today, and we're setting this up for them, and it's going to be a fabulous skit. And wait, we got to get this down. Hold on. Yes, that's we have everything going on with this today. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, if I can bring up and bring to you Ava LaDocha and Craig Chokin and Cornish, sorry, and they're going to be doing Unleash the Christ Consciousness Within. Yes.
What
help me find Jesus?
Find Jesus? What do you want to find him for?
My mom says that if I don't find Jesus, I'm going to hell.
Oh.
Can you help me? You're the world's greatest spiritual practitioner.
Yes. You're right. I am the world's greatest spiritual practitioner. And of course, as the world's greatest spiritual practitioner, I can help you.
Ah, thank God.
Oh, you gave me such a start. Okay. Now I want you to settle down. Quiet down. It's going to be all right. You're with practitioner Sparky now. I'm going to do what we in the Pratt community call a spiritual mind treatment.
Wow, that
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Oh, it is. It is. I promise you, you've never experienced anything like this.
Wow.
Close your eyes, turn within, and listen to my voice. Spacey girl, I know you've been so crazy. Fear and damnation on the daily. Feeling like you'll live in perpetual pain. Like the wrath of God's gonna drive you insane. It's not your fault that you're feeling this way. It's false teaching causing your dismay. To tell the truth, you have no idea what grace is, because you've been looking for God in all the wrong places. So I want to tell you about a whole new way to live. A path to freedom it's my destiny to give. A spiritual teaching it took me many years to find, until I stumbled across the science of the mind. Because I'm rocking with the G-O-D, a divinity that's inside me. I no longer heed my doubt and fear, because I know that God is always here. All I gotta do is turn within, listen to a voice that knows no sin, move my focus away from the external, and fix my gaze upon what is eternal. So let's go back to basics like ramen. I'll blow your mind like a shaman. I'll dig you free from the catacombs and introduce you to Master Holmes.
Wow!
Yeah! All right.
Wow, Sparky Johnson, that was amazing.
What can I say? I'm the world's greatest spiritual practitioner and also the world's greatest rapper.
Yes, you are. So, how can I find this Master Holmes? I need to find him so I can avoid hell.
Oh, you definitely do. I'm the world's greatest spiritual practitioner. He's the guy who invented practitioners.
Wow.
You really need to meet him.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's all about having faith. So you got to believe that Ernest Holmes could walk right through that door right now. Yeah.
Right now?
Right now.
Right now?
Right
Oh,
now.
I'm ready.
Say a quick prayer.
Dear God, can I please meet Master Holmes so he can show me the way to heaven? Thank you. Amen.
Spacey. Spacey Wilson.
Master Holmes? Is that you?
It is me, Dr. Ernest Holmes, live in the flesh. But you can call me Ernie.
Oh, it's the greatest day ever.
I want to speak to you today about a power that there is in the universe. A power closer than your hands and feet, nearer than your very neck vein. This power is always for us and never against us. It is an invisible, spiritual power, more intimate than anything else we can ever truly know.
I don't understand. I'm sorry, Master Holmes. This is so confusing.
Indeed, in the process of not understanding, do we come to understand. I know. Regarding these matters can be very turbulent and emotional at times.
You don't understand. If I don't get this, I'm going to hell.
I see that my work here is done. I bid you adieu.
I didn't understand anything.
Spacey? Spacey Wilson.
Jesus Christ! What?
That's me. Jesus H. Christ, live in the flesh, product of a virgin birth. What can I do for you, ma'am?
You're alive?
Well, yeah. I mean, haven't you read my book? I rose on the third day.
Wow, that's a miracle.
My pal Ernie called me. He said you had a problem, and he didn't feel like he was getting through to you. What do you need?
I need a miracle. I'm a hot mess.
Woo! Well, lucky for you, I'm Jesus Christ, King of miracles. But first, I need a favor.
Anything for you, Jesus?
Can you get me off this damn cross?
Of course.
Thank you, thank you. Woo! Oh my! All right. We'll set that down right over here. Set it down right over here. I haven't been off this thing in 2,000 years. Woo! All right.
Oh my God, it's made out of gold.
Well, yeah. You didn't think my father wasn't going to send me off in style, right?
Wow.
All right. So, you need a miracle. You're afraid of going to hell.
I need a lot of work. My mom says I need to meet you so I can know how to go to heaven.
Well, mission accomplished. I can show you how to get to heaven. But first, you need to learn how to juggle.
Juggle?
Yes. It's very important on the spiritual path to balance everything in life. Here, take these balls. Joy,
Joy.
abundance,
Abundance.
and gratitude.
Gratitude? Wow.
You generate joy, abundance, and gratitude. And if you can keep all three of those balls in the air at all times, like this,
Wow. Jesus, you're world's greatest juggler.
oh, you know, it's one of my many gifts. They didn't talk about that in the
It's
Bible.
almost as if you mastered life.
Yeah, you could say that. That's why I got to resurrect. If you can master joy, abundance, and gratitude, your every day isn't going to be lived in fear of hell. You will bring heaven right here on earth.
Okay, it's gonna take a miracle for me to juggle, but I can practice.
Go ahead and try right now.
Okay.
Woo! That's okay. Here, I'm going to leave you a little present.
I feel joy.
And one more for the road, girl. You need a makeover.
Oh. Wow. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, you're welcome, Spacey. You can pray
This
to me
is amazing.
anytime. Bye.
Bye. I feel so grateful. Gratitude. Oh.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Ladies and
I'm so
gentlemen,
grateful.
Ed Cornish. and Ava Ladocha. Fabulous. Wow, we got a red nose here. Okay. Catch. Oh, no, it's just like, it wasn't a bomb. All right. So now we're going to bring up someone who's been here before, someone you know well. I would love to introduce you to the unknown antics of Rick Van Sant.
I think I might be better off with the red nose.
Oh.
Perhaps that could work.
Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary Magdalene.
Well, Vinny, thank you so very much for putting me right after that incredible, amazing act. And they say in show business that sometimes it's a hard act to follow, and that's absolutely true in this case. That was amazing. So some of you know me, some of you don't. But I thought I'd come tonight in like, I don't know, what do you call it? One of your personalities, one of your flavors, you know? So what I'd really like to do tonight is some New Orleans jazz or maybe some Zydeco. Problem is I don't really have any talent in those areas, and so like I don't play an instrument. In fact, I think the last guitar song I learned was Peter, Paul, and Mary or something of that sort. And so you definitely don't have a singing voice, although I'm told I have a voice for reading. So what I'm going to do tonight is, first of all, I'm going to shed this New Orleans personality, and I'm going to move from, don't get excited, ladies, move from New Orleans to right here at the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, right? My chakras are all aligned, and I am totally present, whole, perfect, and complete. And I'm going to take a few minutes to read you something that, interestingly enough, when I said I would read something for tonight's show, and of course then proceeded to start to cast about, I've held this in my computer bag for a couple of years now. And I found that kind of significant and interesting that this is a piece that pulls out every now and then, but at least for 2 years, it's been sitting with me. So I'm going to take a few minutes tonight to read this to you. Something authored by a lady named Sally Kempton. It's called The Essence of Life. So many years ago, I walked into the kitchen of my guru's ashram and found him shouting at the cooks. Waves of anger were bouncing around the room, almost visible to the naked eye. Then in mid-sentence, he turned, saw us standing there, and smiled. The energy in his eyes went soft. "How'd you like the show?" he asked, chuckling. He slapped the head of the cook playfully on the back and walked away. The cooks giggled and went back to work, galvanized by the energy that had been injected into the afternoon. That moment changed my understanding about emotions. The clarity and fluidity of which he had shifted from intense anger to good humor was only part of it. More interesting, I felt, was that he had been using anger as a teaching tool. Was he truly angry? I don't know. All I know is that he seemed to be able to ride the wave of his anger with perfect ease and let it pass without a trace. To me, that moment was one of the most stunning demonstrations of emotional mastery I had ever seen. One of the ideals of yogic freedom is detachment from emotions. Yet because we have so few models of what genuine detachment looks like, we tend to confuse yogic detachment with being buttoned up, inexpressive, or even unfeeling. My teacher was modeling something quite different. Rather than demonstrating freedom from emotions, he was displaying freedom in emotions. In other words, his mastery included the ability to choose and use emotions, even to play with emotion as the situation demanded. I wonder if it was possible for all of us to be like that. Along with learning to disengage from, transcend, and balance the problematical aspects of the emotional nature, could you also learn the art of playing with emotional currents or inhabiting emotional energy without being ruled by it? Could the path to inner freedom include giving up the fear of emotional expression and even expand one's ability to enjoy different emotional states? Could it be that just as you might practice enlightened emotions like gratitude, generosity, and compassion, You might also find it liberating to try on an engagement of anger, sadness, or fear. Gupta's famous treatise on aesthetics explored the basic flavors, or rasas, of emotional expression. The Sanskrit word rasa is sometimes translated as flavor, but it also means juice. The delicious essence of something, the sweet taste of a ripe peach, is its rasa. Its essence, applied in a deeper sense, rasa is the juiciness in life, the subtle lusciousness that gives the world its taste. Without rasa, life would feel dry and flavorless. The notion of rasa comes from Ayurveda, the ancient system of Indian medicine. Ayurvedic medicine recognizes 6 basic rasas or tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, pungent, and astringent, each of which has an important effect on the body. According to Ayurveda, a healthy diet should, of course, include all 6 tastes. Gupta took this insight about rasa and applied it to the emotional resonance, music, dance, and drama, and by extension to life. So he identified 9 emotional rasas or moods. Erotic, the flavor of love. Comic, the flavor of laughter. Pathetic, the flavor of sorrow. Furious, the flavor of anger. Heroic, the flavor of courageous ardor. Terrible, the flavor of being scared. Odious, the flavor of being repulsed. Marvelous, the flavor of amazement. And peaceful, the flavor of serenity. Just as a sophisticated cook balances different flavors, an artist of life learns how to balance different emotional rasas. You may have noticed that you do this unconsciously when you choose entertainment. You go to see Julia Roberts' movie like Pretty Woman because you're in the mood for erotic, romantic, with a flavor of the comic. You choose a film like Lethal Weapon. You can tell what generation this was written in. For the taste of the heroic or furious, and perhaps a gross-out comedy like Wayne's World to revel in the odious. Not everyone likes every rasa, of course, but a truly universal work of art has many rasas. Shakespeare's tragedies, for example, always have a bit of the comic, the terrible, the heroic, the odious, the pathetic, and in many cases, the flavor of the erotic. If you look at your own inner life, you may notice that your emotional energy tends to flow between 4 or 5 of these distant rasas, and only occasionally touches others. I generally find myself hanging out in the peaceful, the pathetic, and the erotic rasas, the periodic shifts into the comic. At times, I get deeply stuck in one of the others, and my way of looking for excitement is to arouse myself through the terrible or the furious. I have my own methods for arousing fury or fear in myself, and if you think about it, so do you. Some people do it by reading reports on what's happening in the oceans or watching TV news. Others go to horror movies or ride roller coasters or tell gross jokes. Of course, it's common to engage these rasas unconsciously, and any rasa can become problematic if you overemphasize it. Even yogic peace can get, well, dull if it's the only flavor on the plate. However, when you engage rasas consciously, moving in and out of different ones can create more aliveness and more balance, not only in life, but also in practice. Put simply, your consciousness needs a wide palette of emotional experiences and constantly moves to create it, internally as well as externally. So I got a radical realization about this need while I was taking care of my father during this last illness one afternoon as I was helping him to the bathroom. The 2 of us slipped and sprawled on the carpet, and I was hauling him to his feet. His pajamas fell down. I burst out laughing. It was involuntary. The laughter just bubbled out of me, and of course I was appalled at myself. "I'm so sorry. I wasn't laughing at you," I said. "Oh, I understand," my father said. "It's gallows humor." And he laughed too. Much later, I realized that the laughter was a natural movement of energy, a way of balancing the rasas in a situation that was both terrible and pathetic. Had I suppressed the laughter, the painful energy would not have been able to move, and we would have stayed stuck in the pathos of it. It's an innate wisdom in the way emotional energy moves when it's allowed to follow its natural course. Comedy lurks inside even terrible situations, just as the pathos is the other face of comedy. If you're willing to accept the way emotions flow, you can appreciate the miraculous fluidity of which your inner world keeps rebalancing itself. Then, when a poignant romantic moment morphs into an argument, instead of mourning the loss of the erotic rasa and wondering what went wrong, you can recognize and honor the sudden emergence of the furious. All these emotional flavors are part of the tapestry of human life, and you can't keep any of them out. The secret in playing with freedom and emotion is to cultivate an attitude of appreciative observation, something like appreciation you'd experience at a really good movie. At the same time, allow yourself to drink the juice of the emotion you're experiencing. This combination of openness and detachment is the key. Emotions become problematic only when you identify them, when you get stuck or lost in them, when you privilege certain emotions and try to deny others. The tantric attitude towards emotions, acceptance, openness to feeling, combined with the offenness of being a spectator, is really a quality of heart. It takes a certain receptiveness and softness. After a while, the consciousness practice begins natural enough so that it becomes possible to stay genuinely open in the face of even painful emotional states. You can enter fully into a particular emotion and let it go. When you can welcome a particular rasa without judging it, trying to hang on to it, or projecting it onto somebody else, that's when you begin to truly be truly free in your emotions. Don't mistake this kind of freedom with uncontrolled emotion. Yogic freedom isn't a license to let your rage or grief take over. It requires practice, awareness, and discipline. Surfing your emotions is possible only after you've cultivated some degree of separation from them, which requires you have to built-in recognition that you aren't just your emotions. Contemporary yogic and Buddhist teachers offer a quiverful of strategies for interrupting the tendency to identify with thoughts and emotions. Basic mindfulness is one. Another is the process of recognizing and challenging the stories and beliefs you hold about reality. Another very powerful practice comes from the devotional traditions involving offering or turning your emotions to God. Instead of blocking emotions, you use your feeling states to give juice to your practice. There are examples of this in all the devotional traditionals, mystical Christianity, Judaism, Sufism, and especially in the Bhakti tradition of India. As you get to know your own emotional rasas, you'll begin to find ways of using them to infuse your practice with flavor and energy. To begin, it's often just enough to observe emotions as they arise. You might try this first during meditation, or savasana, corpse pose, when you're riding in a car or taking a walk. You'll find it easy to recognize certain familiar emotions like love or anger. When you notice a particular feeling state arise, try to identify it. Anger, guilt, pride, mixed with embarrassment. Then stand back from it for a moment, like a spectator at your own emotional drama. At the beginning, simply get to know these feelings more intimately. Your aim is to feel different nuances of joy, the differences in texture between irritability and full-blown anger, the sharp burn of fear gripping your stomach or knotting your shoulders, or soft lassitude of erotic opening. See if you can feel these emotions and sensations or feeling states in your body, and also notice the thoughts, the stories that tend to come up to justify your feelings. As you become more familiar with the feeling states of certain emotions, you'll begin to approach a particular emotion as it begins to appear in your field, and this is the first stage of mastery. When you can discern the initial bud of a strong feeling, you have a better chance of being able to choose what to do with it, whether to deflect a burst of fury, inquire into it, channel it into some sort of physical activity, or express it. At this point, your practice of balancing emotion begins to become less of a discipline and more of an artistic practice. The art of cooking is all about the balance of flavors. If a dish is too spicy, you add some sweet. If it's bland, you add a bit of the pungent. In the same way, you can learn to inject unexpected flavors into your emotional mix. Every rasa has the most popular perfume fragrances. If you may not believe, like the feeling of disgust, yet every one of the most popular perfume fragrances, jasmine, carries within it the slight odor of animal decay, and that touch of the odious is part of what gives jasmine-flavored perfume its allure. So it is with certain emotions. That was when I began to intuit what my teacher had shown me in the long ago encounter in this kitchen. A Kabbalistic text says that to be a true master means to have mastery over your heart. Not just in the sense of being able to control emotions, but to have free access to all your emotions. A master is one who can recognize the unique texture of each feeling and deploy each emotion authentically at the exact moments it's needed. When you've mastered emotion, your emotional expression will naturally align to your need for the occasion. You can cry when it's time for grief, laugh when it's time to celebrate, and your tears as well as your laughter will connect you to others. You can say, I love you, and genuinely mean it. And when fear rises up, you can inhabit the fear so it wakes you up rather than shutting you down. Your emotions, in other words, become not just the authentic, but inspired and inspiring. They become like instruments in a perfectly attuned orchestral piece or choral for blended voices. Then you are both actor and spectator in the play of feeling that is creating your world, and play within the flavors and tastes that rise and fall with the exquisite enjoyment of a true connoisseur.
Put me on. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Van Sant. Oh, wow. That was special 2 minutes. All right, so now we've got another special act here. There's a lot that goes on in the center here that you're not aware of. And and some really, special studies are going on here. You got to be aware of that. I mean, we've got, science of mind, but, spirituality extends into so many different areas, right? I'm just talking so that I can set this all up. Yeah, right. Okay, good. All right. At least I know you're with me there. You're still breathing. That's good. And one more. Hold on. And we are going to bring up a special group from TCSL. All right. One more. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to introduce to you right here the new Prex on the block. Casey Tellman, Carol Cross, and James Young, ladies and gentlemen.
I have a question. Is this the temple of the abundance of shining light? Yes.
Why, of course it is. I'm so happy to see you. Welcome. Welcome.
Good to be here.
My name is Roshi Expa-Aladoshi.
Okay, all right.
So welcome. And I need to introduce you to our fearless leader, Swami Sparkaladigus.
Okay. Well, thank you.
James, what an unusual name.
Really?
Come here, James. You look familiar.
Okay.
Were you maybe in that movie, 50 Shades of Black?
I don't believe I've ever seen that movie.
Oh, it's a good one. The lead actor, I was so impressed by his performance.
Right.
You remind me of him.
Okay.
I've got to go start the service, but I want you to stay right here, and I'm going to check up on you when I get back.
Well, great, great.
Welcome, one and all, to the Saturday Night Live service of the Temple of the Shining Abundance of Love. I am your Swami Sparkaladigus. So, as is our tradition, we're going to begin with a reading. Roshi?
Our first reading, well, our only reading, is from my favorite book ever, the Kama Sutra. Or as I like to call it, the Bible of Love. As you can see, women may not be known in their true light. They may love men or they may be indifferent to them. They may delight them, or they may abandon them. And they may extract from them all of the wealth that they possess. Pay attention, James.
Yes.
Thank you. That was beautifully inspiring. So now we're going to go right to our main spiritual practice.
He is mine!
I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth.
참마 참마 해 참마 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 바기리 자리야래 참마 참마 바기리 이리 와서 사소리서 참마 참마 해 참마 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 바기리 참마 참마
Well, I seem to have a frog in my voice. Just a minute, please.
So, what did you think of that, James?
I've never seen a service like that before.
Yes, we do like to give you.
Well, but
A unique
we
experience.
still have to finish our spiritual practice. Don't we? uh, so, let's see. Do you have any other readings from the Kama Sutra that we can?
Somebody like the first one? I'll read the first one again.
Yes, yes. We can never get too much of that quote, I think.
We need music, right?
Yeah, we need music.
We need music.
He is mine!
Okay, round two! I only speak the truth.
I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth. I only 참마 참마 해 참마 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 바기리 자리야래 참마 참마 바기리 이리 와서 사소리서 참마 참마 해 참마 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 바기리 참마 참마
Okay. Well, what I've lost my accompaniment, but I'll just sing the song or the words. Kiss hand, Diamond's best friend. Kiss grand, Diamond's best friend. Men cold, girls old, and we all lose our charms in the end. But diamonds are diamonds are diamonds are diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Okay, James, now
So
what did you think?
You guys love diamonds. You like diamonds.
Oh, yes, we love diamonds.
All gemstones, really, but I think diamonds are the classics, don't you?
I do. I'm a bit confused. I thought Buddhists discourage an attachment to earthly things like diamonds.
Buddhists? We aren't Buddhists.
You aren't?
No, we're Buddhists.
Oh, all right.
We love diamonds. And when booty, we love booty.
And
We love booty.
we love
Oh,
booty. That's why our principal spiritual practice is a bun dance.
okay. All right.
So what do you think? Are you a Buddhist?
You know, I'll go with that.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Woo!
All right. Oh,
Come
boy.
join us.
All right.
All right, everybody dance.
Oh, we need the music. We need the music.
All right. Oh, wow. Okay, Eileen, I am not taking a Kama Sutra class here, okay? No ideas. Not that there's anything wrong with it, okay. All right, so for our next act, fabulous. Oh, gosh, a pamphlet. Okay. I have to pay 25 cents for it? What is that? Oh, okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next act, also new to the talent show, not new to the center, very special young man that I would love to bring up. And he's going to share a very special poem, ladies and gentlemen, Edward Gruber.
I am going to read a poem my grandfather gave me before he passed away about 4 years ago. It was for my high school graduation, and he actually wrote it down, handwriting it. This is when he was in his 80s, so it was very hard and difficult, but yet he still did it. And this poem I'm about to read was founded in the old St. Paul's Church in Baltimore, dated 1692. So very, very famous. The poem is called Desiderata. So here it is. I'm going to try to do a little James Earl Jones, but I'll do the best I can. Not the same thing, but I'll give it a go. We'll see. Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. as far as possible without surrender. Be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, while the dull and ignorant, they too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations of the spirit to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, get gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors or aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy. And I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen, Edward Krupa. All right, good job, Edward. Wow. Very special poem, very old poem. And now we have another very special presentation. It does take some time. There we go. We're going to set this up. That's okay. Got this here. Thank you, Mark. I totally appreciate you helping me. It's just like everybody else is just sitting there. This is great. This is called Filler. Fabulous. Well, let's introduce the next act, which involves Janelle Moore, Mark Daly, and accompanied by Cindy Johnson.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, man, sitting in the park.
I just said hi, woman in the park.
You're looking good.
Pardon?
Jenny.
No, I'm sorry. I think you've mistaken me for somebody else.
No, I'm Jenny. My name is Jenny.
Oh, you're... Oh, ha, 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 ha. I thought, oh, what a hilarious misunderstanding. Nice to meet you, Jenny.
We've met before. Quite a few times, actually.
Yes, of course we have. I meant it was nice to meet you at the time that we met. Where was it that we met that time I met you when we met?
At a party.
That's right, wasn't it one of those boring work parties?
No.
That's why I said, wasn't it? It was a party of a mutual friend, was it? Wasn't it? Was it?
Yes,
Wasn't
it was. Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Oh, Bobby's.
No.
Doug's.
No.
D-Dog's.
Nope.
Maxwell's.
No.
Andy's?
Yes, Andy.
Oh, yeah, Andy's party. That's right. Oh, Andy knows how to throw a
Yeah.
party, doesn't he, Jenny?
Yeah. Great parties. I love Andy's parties.
I love Andy's parties. What crazy parties.
Yeah.
How is that guy anyway?
She's good.
Oh, that's right. Andy hates it when I forget that.
We watched a movie.
Yeah, it was something like, but not necessarily, Schindler's List. We watched it and we wept.
It was Police Academy 4. We went for a walk.
On our feet, if I remember correctly.
We walked to the top of the hill and we ate sandwiches.
Oh, we'd just grab a sandwich and we'd put it in our mouths. Oh, that's the only way to have sandwiches. Oh, Jenny, tell me, do you still walk? Do you still get into sandwiches in a big way?
I still walk a lot, but I'm not eating as many sandwiches as back then. Do you remember what we did at the top of the hill?
Kind of.
Do you remember what we were at the lookout?
Oh, I remember exactly what we did up on the lookout. We just looked out across the city from our little spot on the hilltop. Oh, it's so pretty from way up there. We talked about how the lights from the buildings and the cars seem like reflections of the stars that shined out so pretty and bright that night.
It was daytime.
The daytime of the night.
Do you remember what you said to me?
Well, not word for word, actually, Jenny, but I remember there were some verbs.
Well, you said, meet me here in 1 year. You just needed some time to clear your head. And you seem to have done that.
La 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 la.
We have a child.
Pardon?
Said we have a child.
Why didn't you tell me, Jenny? Why didn't you tell me that day when we went to the top of the hill and we made sweet, oh, such sweet, sweet sandwiches? Does it have my eyes, my way with words? Does it look like me at all?
No, because we adopted him. I can't believe you don't remember. It was a very difficult process.
We had to fill out a form.
Lots of forms and a trip to China.
Oh. Are you sure that was me, Jenny?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was you, John.
I'm Brian.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Don't
That
worry.
was terrible.
No, don't
That's
worry.
so embarrassing. I'm so sorry.
Oh, don't worry, Jenny. I'm actually quite relieved. That kind of thing just happens all the time. I guess I just have one of those faces, I suppose.
So does John. He has one
yeah,
of those
I guess
faces
so.
as well.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Janelle Moore, Mark Daly, and of course, Cindy Johnson. Yes, great. Oh, fabulous. Oh, my gosh. I don't feel so bad forgetting names now. At my age, right? Okay. All right, so our next act, and she's not done this for a while, and I'm so excited that she's back to do this for you. She's an incredible writer, and you will hear that because she's going to be performing her own piece tonight. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pride to introduce you to Alicia Young.
Thank you.
You don't need these pamphlets. You go to hell if you read them.
Thank you. So the title of my poem that I'm reading is Everything. I would have to say this poem, I was inspired to write it because ever since I can remember, I have always wanted. And I found myself throughout my life before this teaching, I'm pretty sure, always wanting stuff, so to speak, or things without really valuing what I already had. So that's really where the inspiration for this comes from. I hope you enjoy it. Since I came from nothing, I always wanted something. It seemed so much was missing from my life. From looking for attention, not to even mention peace from all the bullshit and the strife. Yet it wasn't until later that I could really savor the truth of what was really going on. All the time I had nothing, I really had something because it was my thinking that was wrong. 'Cause nothing can replace the smile upon my face from the gift from my ability to see. By getting around with my feet on the ground, I appreciate my mobility. I used to feel like nobody, wanting to be somebody, but I never knew who to be. Then I stopped the rejection of my own reflection, and that's when I became free. 'Cause nothing can replace the smile on my face when I stand up after I fall. I know every season is for a reason, and what effect it has is always my call. So many days I prayed, good never stayed. I thought good was so far away. Now I know the power of living by the hour, and good comes from the words I say. 'Cause nothing can replace the smile upon my face from the love from my family. Having people that care, that are always there, and all I have to do is be me. See, I always wanted more and for it to pour so I can have the things I should. But right before my eyes, I realized what I didn't get was for my good. 'Cause nothing can replace the smile on my face from feeling the warm sunshine. And if I really believe, I know I can receive, 'cause what I want is already mine. So yeah, I come from nothing, but I got something, and it made my very soul sing. I learned to see the best and the hell with the rest, and for me, that is everything.
The podium. Yes, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Alicia Young. Wow. So now we're going to go into some comedy. Hopefully. No, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to that wonderful comedian who's been here. How many times have you done the show? You just missed last year. About 20 times now, even though it's the 7th annual. That's fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, Stu with the perfect last name, Wildman.
Okay, this is hard to, okay, got it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, and you too, Dusty. Yeah, I was here two years ago, and I'm back. So to keep you interested, at the end of my dissertation here, I'm going to give away a door prize, but you're going to have to guess what's in the bag. But I'll explain that when the time comes. So the last time I was here was 2 years ago, and I had to give up a colonoscopy appointment to be here. This time, I was supposed to get a prostate exam, and I gave that up. I passed that. I don't know if that was a better choice or not. So, anyway, Annette and I have been married for a while, but when we were dating, we were out having a few drinks, whatever, and I told her, I says, Annette, you don't have to drink a whole lot to make yourself seem like a lot more fun. She grabbed me and says, you dumb nuts. She says, I'm drinking a lot to make you seem like more fun. So, anyway, I don't know if y'all read the newspaper. People don't get newspapers anymore, but last spring, spring a year ago, I actually went and streaked the Greater Raleigh Flower Show. It was in the newspaper. I got first place with best dried arrangement. Couple of weeks ago, we were in service here, and I was sitting next to Annette, and I leaned over and I told her, I says, I just let out a huge silent fart. Do you have any suggestions? She says, yeah, put new hearing aids in your put new batteries in your hearing aid. So, I had a dream here a few nights ago, and I feel like I need to tell you all about it. I dreamt that there were several of us from the center here who were riding in a car going somewhere, I don't remember where, and we had a bad accident. We ended up in heaven. I got there, I didn't see the others, but we kind of got there at different times. Got to the pearly gate, and St. Pete gives me this great big piece of chalk, and there's this wall in front of me. It's got these ladders on it, and you look up, you can't even see the top. I mean, it goes like for infinity. And the wall, you can't see either end of it. And there's people climbing up ladders. Anyway, he says, what you do is you start climbing this ladder. When you think of a sin, put a mark on the wall, and it'll be forgiven. And you keep going until you've thought about all the sins you've done in your life. It says, by that time, you will be in heaven. So I start climbing, and I notice over here, there's a couple of marks on the wall, and I thought, well, let me see, I kicked the neighbor's dog and put a mark there. So, and I kept climbing, and I said, I've used the Lord's name in vain a few times, so I put a mark up there. I noticed more marks over here, and I kept thinking of sins and climbing. And I keep looking up because I'm wondering how far is it to the top of this thing. And I see this little black spot way, way up there, and it keeps getting bigger. So I stopped, and it was somebody coming back down the ladder. When they got down to me, it was Reverend Dusty going back to get more chalk. I'm going to tell you some. I told you the last time, 2 years ago, about my friends up north, George and Blanche, and I'm going to repeat one of them because just to kind of set the scene of about what kind of people they are. George retired, and his first day on retirement, he realized, came downstairs, he didn't have to go to work. So he's sitting on the couch with a remote control, Blanche sitting on the end doing needlepoint or something. And he's going back and forth between the porn channel and the fishing channel, and the porn channel and the fishing channel, back and forth. Blanche kind of gets irritated as heck at this and says, George, for goodness sakes, just leave it on the porn channel. You already know how to fish. Yeah, George wasn't the most intelligent guy in the world. He thought a mammogram was a heavy-bosomed woman that worked at Western Union. Anyway, but back when he was 14 years old, money was tight, and his mom suggested he get a job. Well, a few weeks went by, and she asked him, she says, did you ever get a job? He said, oh, yeah, I'm working down at the strip joint. And she said, what? What do you do down there? She said, I help the dancers get their costumes on. Okay, well, what's the pay? 25 cents an hour. She says, that's all? He says, all I could afford. Their next door neighbor is a guy named Dr. Dave, and their house is up there only this far apart, and he could hear everything going on in the house next door where George and Blanche live, and that's where I got a lot of my information, because I used to talk to him quite a bit. But let me tell you about Dr. Dave, just to give you an idea. He confided to me one time, and he was really worried and he was upset that he had relationships, if you will, with one of his patients. And that was bothering him a lot. He was feeling sad and remorseful and just, guilty and everything else. And he said, and I keep having this little voice in my head that tells me, Dr. Dave, a lot of doctors have had relations with a patient. He says, it'll happen to you. It'll happen to other doctors. It'll happen again. He says, you're single. Just move on. He says, yeah, but I keep getting this other little voice in my head. Dr. Dave, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're a veterinarian. Sorry. Well, anyway, that's the type of people who lived in that neighborhood. So anyway, Dr. Dave knew that one time Blanche was in bed with George's best friend, and the phone rang. And she answers the phone. She's talking, puts the phone back down, and the best friend says, who was that? She says, that was George. Oh, I better leave. No, I says, you've got plenty of time. That was George calling to tell me that he's playing poker with you. Back when George retired, to go back to that, he had to go down to the Social Security office to, sign up for Social Security. So he gets down there, huge long line. He waited for hours. Finally, he gets up to the window, and the lady there says, I need to see your driver's license for identification. My goodness, I can't find it. I left my wallet at home. Do I have to get back and go get it and get back in lunch? She says, no, I don't think so. We know each other. She says, just unbutton your shirt and open it. Okay. And she looked, and here's this silver hair. And she says, that confirms it. You're old enough. You're qualified. And they got him all signed up. Well, he went back home to tell Blanche this is good news that he got all signed up even without his identification. She, opening his shirt. Blanche told him, he says, you should have dropped your pants till you'd have qualified for disability. The two of them had a kind of a shabby car, and George came into a lot of money. Somebody in his family died, and Blanche was thinking, wow, this is my opportunity to get something I wanted to get all my life. She told George that she wanted something that could go from 0 to 180 in 3 seconds. He got her a brand new flashy bedroom scale. Yeah, another thing about George is, this sort of just give you some more information about him. He did die, and I was asking Dr. Dave about the funeral service, and he says, well, the graveside service went quite well. Says, as soon as it was over, man, we were all down at the tavern, and I reminded her that a while back, George had told her that if he went first, he was going to dig his way back up out of that grave and haunt her for the rest of her days on the planet. Anyway, he was reminding her of that. She says, and I told Blanche, aren't you worried about this? She says, no, not worried a bit. He can dig all he wants. I had him bury him face down. And another time down at the retirement center, and all everybody's in there, Blanche comes running into the center, holding her hand. She says, guys, everybody here, listen up. Guys, any guy here can guess what I have in my hand gets to sleep with me tonight. I need an answer. Way in the back, some guy says, you have an elephant. She says, close enough. Blanche, now being a widow, who was sitting on a park bench with two other widows, And this old grandpa was walking by, and they stopped him and says, "I bet we can guess exactly how old you are." He says, "That's impossible." They says, "No, we can guess exactly how old you are." He says, "All right, how old am I?" They says, "Well, drop your pants and we'll look you over and we can tell you." He kind of felt intrigued. He said, "Okay," so he dropped his pants. And I says, "Okay," and they were looking him over. He says, "How old am I?" They says, "You just turned 86 yesterday." He says, "How in the world can y'all tell that?" He says, "We were at your birthday party." And let me tell you about a few random items here. We'll get off of Blanche and George. They're old news. It says, because recently a friend of mine emailed me, wanted me to go out for a cup of coffee with him, just talk over old times. I emailed him back and told him he spelled beer wrong. So, and ladies, for the very young people here in the audience, looking for a husband or whatever, says the best husband that a woman can get is an archaeologist, because the older you get, the more interest he'll take in you. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting to the age where flowers scare me. I also get nostalgic when I see Neolithic cave paintings. I can't go into an antique store anymore because the last one I went to, I got sold. I also can't go to museums. People think I'm part of the exhibits. So, yeah. As you get older, you'll find out the following things happen. Everything that works hurts, and what doesn't hurt doesn't work. It says you feel like it's the morning after. You haven't been anywhere. It says your cell phone number list all end in MD. So your children look middle-aged, and you look forward to a dull evening. It says your back goes out more than you do, and you sink your teeth into a juicy steak, and they stay there. So well, enough about symptoms. The list is endless. So, yeah, I told y'all last time about going to my doctor, my psychiatrist, and he examined my brain. They did a scan on it, and he says on the left side nothing was right. On the right side, nothing was left. He happens to be an MD and a psychiatrist. It's like 2 for the price of 3. So anyway. But yeah, I was doing an exam on me. He asked me a bunch of questions. One of them was, my heart and all that stuff. And are you regular? I says, "Oh yeah, I'm regular, and that's a problem." He says, "Explain." I says, "I have a good BM every morning, sharply at 7 o'clock." He says, "That sounds healthy. What's wrong with that?" I says, "I don't wake up until 8:30. Anyway, I had mentioned earlier that I was going to give away a door prize. And what we're going to do is guess what's in the bag. And what you can do is ask questions, and I'll answer them. But before I do that, don't let this disturb you if I look like I'm from Hawaii. I didn't bring a volcano with me. So. Okay. What would somebody like to guess or ask a question? Is it animal, mineral, or vegetable? That type of question.
Is it edible?
Is it edible? No, you can't eat it. But do you want to hazard to guess what it might be?
A candle.
Close, but that's not it. Anybody else?
Is it something you can read?
Can you read the wrapping on it? You can read, yes. And that's the part that you're going to love to read. Anybody else want to hazard a guess?
Is it something you can wear?
Nope, you can't wear it. Well, I don't know. I'll give you a hint. You could wear it in your bra.
$20.
No, it's not $20. I'll give you another clue. It's white. Pardon? It is some type of tissue. What type of tissue is it?
Toilet paper.
What'd they say?
Toilet paper.
Okay, you're right. Someone's won the prize. Now, here's the reason I brought toilet paper as a prize. This is recycled toilet paper. I don't know what the source of it is, but that's what it says on the package.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stu Wildman. Oh, keep that toilet paper away from me. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, we go from that comedy to some class. And it gives me a great joy to introduce to you our very special, our very lovely, and our extremely talented singer, accompanist. Could you do me a favor? Could you hold this, please? Okay. An incredible all-around person, ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Johnson.
Hit it, maestro. I was walking along, minding my business, when out of the orange-colored sky, flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you went by. I was humming a tune, drinking in sunshine, when out of the orange-colored view, flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful you came by. One look and I yelled, timber, watch out for flying glass. And the belly fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shout, I've been hit, this is I've been walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam, out of the orange-colored sky. One look and I yelled, timber, watch out for flying glass. 'Cause the ceiling fell in and the bottom fell out. I went into a spin and I started to shout, I've been hit, this is it, I did. I've been walking along, minding my business, when love came and hit me in the eye. Flash, bam, alakazam, out of the orange-colored, purple striped, pretty pink polka dot sky. Flash, bam, alakazam, and goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy Johnson. Oh, wow. Oh, gosh, when I'm that age, I hope I can keep doing that. Wow. My goodness. Okay, so, you know what? I don't get paid enough here. I get all this setting up. Gosh, right? Yeah, no, I get paid. I get love. I get blessings. It's always good to personally know a minister. Well, this is a special act. And I'm looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to all my act, but this one, especially tonight. Hold on. All right, a lot of requirements. Hold on. Could you do me a favor? You did so great the last time. Could you hold that again? Don't use it. If you wanted to, you could have been in a show then. Okay? I saw you before. You were going to talk in it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Straight from their tour from Las Vegas, the B-52s.
If you see a faded sign at the side of the road that says 15 miles to the
Love Shack! Love Shack, yeah, yeah. I'm heading down the Atlanta highway, looking for the love, yeah.
a love shack, baby.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love
Where
Shack.
it's at.
Love Shack, baby, Love
That's where
Shack.
it's at. Sign says, stay away, fools, 'cause love rules at the Love Shack.
Well, it sits way back in the middle of the field, just a funky old shack, and I gotta get back.
Glitter on the mattress, glitter on the highway, glitter on the front porch, glitter on the highway. The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby.
Love Shack, baby.
Love Shack, that's where it's at. Love Shack, that's where it's at.
Hugging and a kissing, dancing and a loving, wearing next to nothing 'cause it's hot as an oven, and the whole shack shimmies. The whole shack shimmies. The whole shack shimmies when everybody's moving around and around and around and around.
Everybody's moving, everybody's moving their head.
Folks lining up outside just to get down.
Everybody's moving, everybody's moving their head.
Funky little shack. Funky little shack. I got me a Chrysler, it's as big as a whale, and it's about to set sail. Woo! I got me a car, it seats about 20, so come on and bring your jukebox money.
The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby.
The Love Shack, baby.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
That's where it's at.
Love Shack, baby, Love
That's where it's at.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
Knock a little louder, honey.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
I can't hear you.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
Knock a little louder, sugar.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
I can't hear you.
Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby. Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby. Bang, bang.
On the door, baby.
Bang, bang.
On the door.
Bang, bang.
On the door, sugar.
Bang, bang.
Yo, what?
Tin roof rusted.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack,
baby.
Love
That's where
Shack.
it's at.
Love Shack,
Oh,
baby,
honey,
Love
that's where it's
Shack.
at. We're getting down at the Love Shack.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the B-52s and Marge Simpson. Wow. Well, it doesn't end there. Can I have the meditation lights, please, Mark? Let's bring it down, because we have another special act here. Come on up, guys. They're on a tour somewhere. Okay. Go on. So we've got Joe Norwick, Michelle Nowak, Susan Krupa, and Mel Diana. Ladies and gentlemen, can I present to you Sister Sludge? Ladies and gentlemen, Sister Sludge. They call Sister Sludge. Hey, Joe, there is a great club down in Raleigh, the Long Branch. On Wednesday nights is their drag show night. I hear they give away prizes. You're a sure win. No, actually, yeah. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, that actually brings us to a close for this evening. That is the last act of the evening. Oh, listen to all of that. You better be booing. No, but before we go, and I may or may not be doing a last number, I do want to thank a bunch of people. Mark, we can switch it to this one now, yeah. First, of course, the only time that we can have something like this is when we have the love and the support of Reverend Dusty Ripplemeyer here, ladies and gentlemen. and all the other people who helped me put it together. Mark Daly, you were in such an incredible support. Cindy Johnson, thank you so much. And of course, we have to give a round of applause to Mark Cram in the back, working that AV. So, let's see. Yeah, okay, it's there. I'd like to end with a number, just to remind everybody that we are a spiritual center, and always trying to remind us that we manifest. And in the world today, psychologists and psychiatrists say that anxiety is actually created from seeing the world the way you'd like it to be, rather than seeing the world the way it really is. And here at TCSL, as well as elsewhere, we understand that the world becomes what we know it can be if we see it the way it can be. All the rest is just an illusion out there. And if you just hold, then in your mind, in your heart, the way we know we really are, the way we know that we're special, loving beings, and if you keep that image, then we have a chance to be able to manifest the world the way we want. All the way up, Mark. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of forgiving somewhere. There's a place for us somewhere, a place for us. Peace and quiet and open air wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us. Someday there'll be a time for us. Time together with time to spare. Time to learn. Time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find there's a way of forgiving somewhere. There's a place for us, a time and a place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday, somewhere. Good night, everybody. Thank you. And to all my special talent, thank you so much. You made this such a special night. Thank you all.